History and overview of BibFrame. Officially established in 2011 by the Library of Congress, the Bibliographic Framework Initiative, or BibFrame, is a high-level model designed to facilitate the bibliographic description of information resources as well as the exchange of bibliographic data in the networked environment. In 2012, the Library of Congress contracted Zephyria, a consulting firm that specializes in the deployment of semantic web technologies, to assist with the development of the model. In addition to its work with the Library of Congress, Zephyria has also played, in partnership with Google, Yahoo, and Bing, a key role in the development of Schema.org, a common set of web developer metadata schemas designed to describe websites in support of the indexing efforts of the Internet's major search engines. Over its brief history, BibFrame has produced and published a vocabulary for the model, a number of discussion papers related to the vocabulary or other aspects of BibFrame implementation, and tools for data conversion. In its essence, BibFrame is an entity relation model similar to the model put forth in the functional requirements for bibliographic description. As such, it consists of entities and attributes designed for the description of resources typically managed by cultural heritage institutions. As a result of this entity relation model, BibFrame emphasizes its focus on capturing data elements relevant to bibliographic description, such as title, author, publisher, etc., instead of the creation of complete bibliographic records, which has historically been the focus of the library community. In this way, BibFrame establishes a framework for bibliographic description that clearly separates information related to the intellectual contents of resources from their physical properties. Within this entity relation model, BibFrame is further modeled within RDF/XML in order to bring the model in line with semantic web principles. The use of RDF/XML allows users of the model to identify entities and to describe the relationships between them more clearly and completely. Moreover, it permits these relationships be processed more easily by machines, making library data more conducive to the web environment. In other words, it allows library data to be found more easily by Internet search engines and, by extension, users. At the heart of this development is the use of Universal Resource Identifiers, or URIs, to name entities and data values, instead of text strings. Thus, the entire BibFrame vocabulary of entities and properties has been rendered in URI form. In summary, BibFrame utilizes web architecture for the description, maintenance, and exchange of bibliographic data in order to accomplish three primary goals. Differentiate clearly between conceptual content and its physical manifestations, for example, works and instances. Focus on unambiguously identifying information entities. Leverage and expose relationships between and among entities. Differentiate clearly between conceptual content and its physical manifestations, for example, works and instances. Focus on unambiguously identifying information entities. Leverage and expose relationships between and among entities. The newest BibFrame model, version 2.0, consists of three core class entities. These are defined below. Work, a resource reflecting a conceptual essence of the cataloged resource. Instance, a material embodiment of a work. Item, an actual copy, physical or electronic, of an instance. Work, a resource reflecting a conceptual essence of the cataloged resource. Instance, a material embodiment of a work. Item, an actual copy, physical or electronic, of an instance. As these entities and their definitions make clear, BibFrame, like FRBR, separates the intellectual content of a resource, creative work, from its physical realization, instance. However, instead of FRBR's four entity classes, work, expression, manifestation, and item, BibFrame models only three. Thus, although BibFrame and FRBR are conceptually related, it appears that BibFrame has simplified the number of entity classes required for bibliographic description. Below is a graphical depiction of the BibFrame model that highlights the relationships between these core entities. Graphical depiction of BibFrame model. While presenting the evolution of the latest version of BibFrame 2.0 from the previous version, McCallum reports the participation of vendors in linked data. Another major step is now beginning to happen as the vendors who supply many of the services in the community have started to explore linked data, and they are the community's essential innovators. BibFrame offers a significant amount of flexibility with resource description. However, per the BibFrame documentation, other relationships can also be described. Namely, works can be related to works, instances to instances, works to instances, and instances to works. Beyond the main classes of entities, BibFrame also includes a number of properties that are related to each entity. For instance, the creative work class contains properties that, as one researcher notes, reflect traditional bibliographic elements such as title, creator, language, etc., as well as specific resource work types that can be used to increase the granularity of a work's description. These properties include resource type concepts like audio, text, and moving image. The instance class contains properties which serve to describe the physical embodiment of resources. These properties include terms that overlap with those of the work class such as title and creator, as well as those that describe the aspects of a resource at the manifestation level, such as publisher. Although there is overlap in terminology between the work and instance class, the modeling of these properties in RDF/XML serves as a means to disambiguate terms with the same name through the assignment of a specific URI. Thus, despite identical text names, the use of URIs serves to identify properties within their specific classes. To put it plainly, BibFrame attempts to be content standard and model agnostic. Its framework is intended to be flexible enough to accommodate existing models, FRBR, MARC, etc., and content standards, RDA, VRA, DAX, as well as models and standards that have yet to be developed. Thus, it appears that BibFrame appears to be poised to provide the library community with a new model of bibliographic description and exchange that takes full advantage of the web as architecture. Furthermore, the model also promises to make library data more visible on the web, not only to the benefit of users looking for library resources but also for reuse in context outside of the library community. Finally, it appears that BibFrame will permit the full description of relationships between and among resources, enhancing user experience of library information. It is worth noting that the high degree of flexibility and extensibility built into the model comes with a cost. The underspecification of the model, which is what lends it flexibility, means that there are no built-in mechanisms within the model or its RDF schemas that guide and constrain the generation of BibFrame data. Nevertheless, the initiative proposes the use of BibFrame profiles to address this issue. A BibFrame profile can be understood as a document, or set of documents, that puts a profile, for example local cataloging practices, into a broader context of functional requirements, domain models, guidelines on syntax and usage, and possibly data formats. In other words, a BibFrame profile serves as a kind template for the generation of BibFrame descriptions through the establishment of metadata structure and value constraints. BibFrame data can be validated against relevant profiles in order to ensure conformance to an established metadata structure. However, it should be noted that BibFrame profiles exist externally to the model and must be developed within the context of local needs and practices, likely within an application used by catalogers to capture bibliographic data. In other words, a BibFrame profile matches the metadata structures needed within a given context. As long as the overall structure of the data conforms to the BibFrame model, then that data should remain interoperable on the web. Thus, it appears that the initiative is attempting to balance the need for a flexible structure within the model itself and the need to contain that flexibility within a viable framework that can produce consistent and reliable data at the local level. The study compares locally created Dublin Core metadata scheme-based application profiles from a number of institutions and digital projects, N=8. The results of the study present the commonalities and variations of locally developed application profiles and shed light on the effects of resource type and subject domain on naming conventions. The experiences and lessons drawn from the implementation processes of locally developed metadata application profiles are invaluable in the sense that they offer insights and efficient mechanisms for metadata planning and reuse. Thus, the study may shed light on the development of BibFrame application profiles in local practice settings.